Hi, I'm Philip Quintus, and I help people collaborate so that we can enjoy the community of creativity. Today, I had to do some work on the studio because one of the last times we were filming in here, the rail that holds up the curtain got pulled down. There was too much weight on it, and it just the anchors I had used to install it just weren't holding in the ceiling, and one of them pulled out, so I had to kind of jury rig it to get through the shoot, but I haven't worked on it since then. So I wanted to put a larger anchor in there, but that required a bigger bolt, and the hole that was drilled in the railing was too small for the bolt to go through. So I took out my moto tool and I drilled into the aluminum railing to make the hole bigger, and I had to kind of bore it out so that it was big enough that the bolt could go through smoothly. Once the hole was big enough that the bolt would fit through the railing, I put a washer and then the expanding butterfly wing nut, whatever you call that thing that goes into the ceiling, and I pushed that up into the hole in the ceiling where the old anchor had pulled out. And then when you're tightening these things, you need to pull down on the bolt to maintain tension. Otherwise, the anchor will just spin in the ceiling. So I pulled that down and tightened it and until by hand as far as I could, keeping tension on the anchor so that the bolt went into it. And then I took a screwdriver. Well, I had to get the right size screwdriver because the first screwdriver I had was too big. It wouldn't fit in the railing. So I got the right screwdriver, and then I tightened that to the ceiling, and then I was able to secure the railing back to the ceiling. So now the curtain will go all the way around, because what I'm doing now is preparing the studio to be used as a multi-camera television production studio. And I need to make some space because I'm going to move the sound booth, which means I have to take everything that's in the sound booth out, and everything that I've stored on top of the sound booth has to come down so that I can then rotate the sound booth 90 degrees and put it in the far right corner. And that way the window will be facing into the larger part of the room. And I'll use the sound booth most of the time probably as a control room, but it's also work as an isolation booth if I'm doing any specific, very sensitive overdubs of maybe acoustic guitar or something like that. Anyways, so I needed to pack up my drum kit, which was in the middle of the room, so that I have the room to to take everything out of the sound booth and then move the sound booth and put everything back in that needs to go back in there. So that's what I did. Now I wanted to show you what it looks like in fast motion when you're packing up the drum kit and putting it in its cases. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Ta-da!